to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George.
Hello everybody and welcome in to the Cinementalists, where today we are discussing part 6 of our top 100 favorite actors of all time. These are the 40s, working our way from the bottom of the list to the top. 49 through 40 in this episode. Also available this week are the 50s, so go ahead and check that out. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. This just keeps getting more and more difficult, huh? Mm-hmm. We just keep working our way up, and as we get to the top of the list, you kind of go, no, you're already here, but also this is the top 50. We're officially in the top half of the list, and it's getting difficult to narrow in on just exactly the correct spots. I find myself discussing, and as I'm talking about things, I'm like, oh no, I might have to change something later in the episode, and you know, it is what it is, but that just shows how fluid the list is, really. And one of the biggest devastations with how fluid the list is that somebody who wasn't on your top 100 when we started this list might be in your top 100 now. You just never know. Mm-hmm. These things change so quickly. You watch one thing and you're like, oh shit, I wish I'd had them. And, you know, life happens though. So give me a couple before we really dig in of people that it hurt to leave off your list.
All right, I got some powerful women to leave off this week. One, I believe you mentioned. I think it was in your actual list. I don't think it was you mentioning that you left her off.
Gotcha.
But this is the Beatrix Kiddo, the bride. This is Uma Thurman. Yeah, it did hurt. And I do love Beatrix. Like, that is the role I'm going to point to. She's great in Pulp Fiction. I just haven't really loved that movie quite enough yet. I think I need to just revisit the movie entirely. And then, you know, her Ivy is cool, but I never like attached to her. With Kill Bill, there was that kind of like, holy shit, or like this, I knew it was iconic while I was watching it, and that's just like, I love that feeling in a movie. So it was, I don't know. I guess Tarantino is just a weird guy for me. It's like, and it shouldn't diminish any of his actors or the people who have just worked for him, but like his movies just leave a weird taste in my mouth. And so it's just a weird thing. So I don't know if that's why, or maybe that's why she eventually got pushed down. But the Kill Bill performance alone was pretty damn close to get her in here. But yeah, just kind of slipped through the cracks.
I like that.
At the end.
I like that. Yeah, it's tough. There's a few that you just don't want to leave off and are gonna fall off the list. And one that I was playing with, it was right there. I tried, and I just couldn't bring myself to include her. Was one of my Lynch peeps, Naomi Watts. I don't have Naomi Watts.
Okay.
I would have loved to have included Naomi Watts, but you know, when it comes to what I've loved her in, it's Mulholland Drive and it's The Return. Beyond that, I haven't seen Naomi Watts in a bunch of stuff that I really love. You know, obviously I watched King Kong a lot when I was growing up, the Peter Jackson King Kong. But beyond that, I don't know how much I've seen Naomi Watts in, if anything. Don't get me wrong, that's how much weight Mulholland Drive and The Return really carry for me, is that I almost put her in anyway. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So Naomi Watts, that was one of the harder ones that I had to leave off.
Yeah, I didn't quite have her either. She does kill it in The Return. Yeah, that's and yeah, I guess King Kong, like, first movie to ever make me cry. That's memorable. Oh no, she's always been there, I guess. So but yeah, didn't have her either. But yeah, another powerful woman here, and one role that really I knew her from. Some tertiary ones that I guess, but she is known as Cersei Lannister. I couldn't quite get Lena Headey. in there. And I do love her as Cersei. God damn, like, especially during the rewatch that we did, I found a new appreciation for Cersei.
God, she's so good. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was always awesome. She, in 300, she is it Maximus's wife or no? Somebody's wife. Leonidas.
Not gonna lie to you. Leonidas,
Not Glad. Oh,
it.
300. Hello, I'm in the wrong movie. I was in Gladiator for a second. No.
Gladiator's wife,
yeah.
or wife to be, was Connie Nielsen, the sister of Joaquin Phoenix. Also, don't have her, but she's great.
Yeah, but yeah, no. In 300, I guess, a very small role there. But my dad just watched it so much that was my actual first exposure to Lena Headey. But I can't really. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else other than Thrones and 300 that I would know her from. Wow, Whore, just Mom in Whore, 2008, crazy movie title. I mean that's incredible. Yeah, no, but nothing else. I don't think. But yeah, Cersei was pretty dang close. Just kind of in the same boat as Beatrix, I think, where for some reason, I don't know, just slipped through the cracks there.
Well,
at the end.
I'll keep it with the powerhouse ladies, and just since that's the theme here, it seems like for the ones that we've left off, I've got some heavy hitters in this episode for powerhouse ladies, so it feels like a nice way to really seal the episode. The last one that I'll mention is I don't have Michelle Pfeiffer. I really like Michelle Pfeiffer a lot, though. I think back to Age of Innocence with Daniel Day-Lewis and Winona Ryder. Obviously, most recently, she was a part of the MCU in Quantumania. She was very, very prominent. Now Michelle Pfeiffer's got a long career. Batman Returns, she is unbelievable as Catwoman. Tie it back to those Schumacher, Burton 90s Batman films like you did with Uma Thurman there. I've really, really enjoyed Michelle Pfeiffer for a long time throughout my life, but couldn't find a spot for her. So if you want to go ahead and get the list truly popping with your 49, I'm ready for it.
All right, let's see. Let me scroll back up here. And yes, okay, someone we have already talked about before. Knew he was going to be on here. I don't know exactly when. I think it might have been last week. But this is where I have Chadwick Boseman, our Black Panther, and 42. That was me and my brother actually watched the shit out of 42. My brother loves a good baseball movie, so I mean that one was kind of always on rotation. But yeah, other than those two was pretty much those are all I had. But Black Panther, I don't know. It was just a moment to live through. Like I think we could not have really been at a better age. Maybe younger would be more ideal, I guess. I don't know, but I mean, we were old enough to understand the importance kind of what was happening, but also be young enough to love the, throwing up the Wakanda Forever sign around school,
it was cool. Just, it was a really special moment. Yeah. And I think we were kind of at the perfect age. I just turned 18 when Black Panther came out. You were a month away from turning 18. So we were right there. It was February of 2018, as I recall. I think the moment in time is really, really important as well. Like, it came out in 2018, which was, a year. It was basically a year after Donald Trump had assumed the office of president, in January of 2017. Obviously he won the election in November of 2016, but didn't assume office until a couple months later. So a year after that, where, it's generally not hopeful time for people of color, for anybody that had any sense about them. So it just felt really important at that moment to have a hero who felt representative of the oppressed, and the idea that this person, Chadwick Boseman, was, and I brought this up, he was in my 80s episode, so a couple weeks ago, actually. he was the most famous man alive for a little bit there. You know, like Black Panther was an absolute phenomenon, and it kind of got the ball rolling for what has become kind of continuously apparent to studios, and it's almost like they keep relearning the same lesson, which is that if you take a black creative team and black cast and you make a movie about, by, and for black people, it will be a box office success. Black people want to watch movies by and for them. You know, so this was rediscovered last year with Sinners, when that was the highest grossing original movie since Oppenheimer. Since the pandemic, it was the highest grossing original film. You know, non-IP. Like that's, and it's over and over and over. These things are learned and learned again where, Barbie made $1 billion. It turns out girls want to go see movies too. You know, like it's like, oh, holy shit. How have you not realized this sooner? You know, and like that's, and I think Black Panther was kind of a really, really good first stepping stone, because this was $1 billion movie. It was a massive deal, and Chadwick Boseman was no small part of that. He was he was the lifeblood of that franchise, I would argue, and no small task in what they've had to do, what Ryan Coogler has had to do since his passing, as far as continuing that franchise. But yeah, that moment in time was really special.
Yeah. And yeah, a weird right around to have to do, an unfortunate one, but like, man, has it almost just immortalized the character even more, and like what the moment was. Like it's a sad reality. Like I wish he would still be here and still in the role, but like, oh my God, it's,
there's
just
such a double-edged sword there, where it's like, yeah, I'm glad that Chadwick Boseman is now kind of permanently T'Challa for us.
Yeah.
But there's also this part of me that's like, is that character big enough and representative of enough to have been recast? And, passed on to somebody else and then given a chance to flourish under a new mantle. And I also understand the idea that I don't know what the logistics were. I don't know if it was that like Ryan Coogler and that creative team outright refused a new T'Challa and was like, I'm not going to be able to do it without him, like whatever. I have no idea what the logistics were. And therefore, like, that's why I've always been really back and forth on that idea. Should they have recast him, or should he be immortalized as T'Challa? But there's no doubt that as a result of them not recasting him as of yet, I still don't think that that's a guaranteed thing to stick. Just because of all the multiversal stuff, they could almost certainly do anything they wanted. It has ultimately immortalized him as T'Challa. And, like I remember the NBA All-Star Weekend in 2018, because that's in February, so like at the end of the month, Chadwick Boseman was courtside at the dunk contest, and Victor Oladipo threw on a Black Panther mask and did a dunk, and then he walked over to him and did the Wakanda Forever salute and stuff, like that's cool. That's really cool shit that I remember very vividly because of the moment, like that's everything that happened at that. I remember I went to college, went down to Mizzou August of 2018, 6 months after the release. And I roomed with my boy Tillman, and who has been a part of the podcast on Geek with me a couple times, if you're interested. But, we had a Black Panther poster on our wall, and he was the classic theater poster of Black Panther that you see in your head when you think of it. So yeah, I mean, Chadwick Boseman's been all over my walls. He's been all over, my first kiss was in a showing of 42 back in 2013. So like my history with this man goes back, I love that guy. So, I'll never forget the night that I read that he'd passed, and just like being like, oh my God.
Out of nowhere. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You never know.
And the concept that he'd been fighting the cancer for the entire time he'd been playing T'Challa, basically, like that's crazy, man. Like that's the tried and true hero, like a really, really awesome actor. Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's broke the 50 gap, or the
I like
barrier,
that. He's in the top
so
half. I've actually got somebody he starred across from in a movie at 49. his last Oscar nomination came in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is led by Viola Davis, who plays Ma Rainey. That is my 49, Viola Davis. I love Viola Davis, and I'm just, anytime she pops up, I'm like, fuck yeah, like, I'm like, she's the shit, dude. And that's probably my favorite Viola Davis role, is Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And she does a great job with Coleman Domingo and Chadwick Boseman, and just an incredible cast there. But obviously Amanda Waller, the DC stuff, I can't wait for her Waller series. I look forward to that immensely. And her brief appearances in, Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad and every little DC thing she's had a chance to pop up in has always been cool. We've brought up Prisoners, I don't know how many times, because I've had Hugh Jackman, and we've both had Paul Dano, and I've had Jake Gyllenhaal. So she's also great in Prisoners, where she acts across from Terrence Howard, who is obviously number one on my list. Sorry for the spoilers. Terrence Howard's the GOAT. No, Terrence Howard's not on my list. Yeah, she's great. Everything. The Woman King a couple years back, that was a really, really great Viola Davis role. I mean, she's an EGOT winner, for Christ's sakes. Like, that's a prestigious crowd that's gotten an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. Like, that's not easy, and she's one of them. And she's not nearly old enough to where you would be like, yeah, she's done all that and is, she must be getting near the end. No, she's thriving. She's incredible. So I love me some Viola Davis, and I can't get enough of her. So I've got her at 49 to breach the top 50 here.
Nice. I like that. And yeah, she's even not my GOAT, but some people's GOATs. The GOAT's mother in Air. She plays Jordan's
not
mom.
my GOAT.
Like she killed. She's like, she's the one that gets the deal of.
I
guess I don't know. I'm assuming this happened in real life, but not dramatized.
Oh yeah, it
in
was
the
definitely.
Way. But it was. I don't know. She played that role perfectly, though.
She absolutely did. Yeah, so. I mean, she's been all over the place. Ocean's 11. I remember she was a small part of that. I'm trying to think. I've never seen Fences, which is just a massive blind spot for me. The Denzel Viola Davis picture, actually directed by Denzel.
Damn.
That movie has always been really, really high on my list, and I just have not gotten around to it. Hoping to get around to it before another name on my list. But Widows, Steve McQueen movie from a few years ago. That's, a bunch of badass women. Michelle Rodriguez, Elizabeth Debicki, Cynthia Erivo. That seems like an awesome movie. I've just never seen it. So I'm like, she's only got the opportunity to go up for me on this list. There's no going down for Viola Davis. So 49, love her, have her here.
Hell yeah. Well, going on to 48, a guy that I think maybe you mentioned as someone that you left off, possibly. I think he's been brought up. But 48 is where I have Ed Norton, or Edward Norton, I guess, officially.
I've got him.
On IMDb. But yeah, the good old, like the Wes edition. There, but Fight Club is the main kind of role I've always known him for. Fight Club's been a movie long in the wheelhouse. At one point in time, it probably was my favorite. If I was asked, like, what is your favorite best movie? I think my favorite movie's always been like Star Wars or Tron, but favorite and best. I thought
what's actually
Fight Club,
good.
How can it get better than Fight Club? At I don't know, at my younger years. So, but yeah, and just Tyler Durden is just like kind of sick as hell. Like he's cool, and so growing.
You don't
up,
want growing up, you're like, oh, he's actually kind of a piece of shit. But when you're little, you're like, ha, he's dope. This guy's cool. He wears a cool leather jacket, and his hair's all fucking spiky. I like that. He's kind of hot. He's got scars. No, Ed Norton. I had him at 70, and you can't go wrong with Ed Norton, man.
Yeah, he's just every time like in Fight Club he's been good. I don't think I recognized his acting when I was watching it really before. But you know, the Hulk, he doesn't really get to do much. But then like whenever he's in a Wes movie, I don't know, and just seeing him in Glass Onion or seeing him in just outside of kind of the superhero or whatever realm, it's I don't know, it's very just refreshing. He just seems like another actor who really loves the game. Like they're in it for the love of the game and not for the paycheck. But yeah, I just...
He recently went on one of the late night shows, and I imagine it was Colbert, because I think he's the one who's about to come off the air when the next season ends, because CBS got bought, and but he went on Colbert and recited a Robert Frost poem, and he did like a dramatic reading of it, and it was like really fucking good. Like one of those things where you're like, God damn, these guys could do anything. You know, I could watch you read a fucking menu, you know, and obviously a Robert Frost poem is not a menu. There's a lot of substance there as is. But he is just, he brought it to life so beautifully, and I loved it. So, I'm fairly certain it was a Robert Frost poem, but, yeah, just ought to look that up. Ed Norton on late night poem recitation, because it was really, really, really compelling. I recently watched Primal Fear for the first time, which was his first role, if I'm not mistaken. Stars opposite Richard Gere, and he's accused of the murder of a local cardinal in the Catholic Church. And yeah, really good. Really good.
Looks like it was Walt Whitman? I've never heard of him.
Walt Whitman. Maybe. Okay.
Walt Whitman's Crossing Brooklyn Ferry from the Leaves of Grass, I guess so. But yeah,
Walt Whitman, not Robert Frost. Thank you.
It is not upon you alone the dark patches fall. I am with you. That sounds like, yeah. Just, we know it sucks right now, but we're with you. You know, hey, we're all here together.
Ultimately, it obviously played in a tone that was like, you're not alone. Things are dark right now, but we'll get through it together, sort of thing. And it, you know, like, I'll accept it. I'll take it. You know, I'll take your positivity. I accept this. But yeah, Ed Norton's the shit. So I love that pick at 48. I've got a little bit more of a recluse at 48, someone who you don't hear a lot out of, and is in even less these days. Very selective with his roles. Only pops up when he really, really wants to, or his son is making his debut feature in 2025. This is where I have Daniel Day-Lewis. He returned from retirement last year to be in his son's directorial debut. Anemone. I never watched it. It's also got Sean Bean in it. I would like to watch it. I just I heard it's just kind of okay. But Daniel Day-Lewis is never just okay. You know, he is an exceedingly good actor. Yeah, I mean,
that's I don't know,
just obscenely good at it. You know, and there's an argument to be made that perhaps whenever people talk about method acting and whatever, as long as you're not being a fucking asshole and you're not abusing people, I don't care what you do to get into your role. I don't care. If what you have to do to get into your role is act like you are that fucking guy the whole time, sure, do it. But he is so good. And one of the first watches I did recently for him on this list was Lincoln, his Oscar-winning turn as Abraham Lincoln. When he was trying to pass the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, which would effectively free the slaves and end enslavement. Except for we can use slave labor for prisoners. You know, we got to make sure we include that, because that's obviously no way that will be abused later on. But yeah, it's yeah, exactly. But he does an incredible job in that movie, and he does an incredible job in every movie. You know, one of my favorites, if not my favorite, Daniel Day-Lewis movie is Paul Thomas Anderson's Phantom Thread. Gorgeous movie, and it was one of those movies where I've never looked at Daniel Day-Lewis and been like, that's a hot guy, you know, like he's a good looking guy. He's, you know, he's solid enough looking. There's nothing that's like, I wouldn't say he's conventionally attractive, but he's not an ugly guy by any stretch of the imagination. He's a solid looking fellow. And even in that role, I wouldn't call him like hot. It is the performance he is putting on. There's a scene in that movie where I'm like, this guy has the most game I've ever seen anybody have. Like I'm ready to drop my pants for Reynolds Woodcock. Character's name, by the way, Reynolds Woodcock.
Wow. Woodcock. Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, incredible. And he does an unbelievably good job. But a few of the other favorites, There Will Be Blood, another Paul Thomas Anderson one. And then the other, I think of his Scorsese work, with Gangs of New York, Age of Innocence, one of Scorsese's more underrated ones. But he's still got a few that I've never gotten around to, you know, his Michael Mann collaboration, The Last of the Mohicans. Never saw that. Although I do now own it on DVD. I thought I might get around to it ahead of this. I watched Lincoln instead. You know, In the Name of the Father is always one I've heard of. The Crucible was a big deal. I've read that book. It's got and the movie's got Winona Ryder and Daniel Day-Lewis in it, so can't really go wrong there. But yeah, so I've just really, really enjoyed Daniel Day-Lewis's work. He's a really incredible actor, and I can't say anything new about him that nobody's ever heard before. So I've got Daniel Day-Lewis at 48.
Okay, hell yeah. Well, moving on here, I'm keeping the powerful women theme going. Here, kind of back to back here, will be, but for 47, I think you already said her. This is where I have Zendaya. Someone who, you know, if you can go by one name, that's just power. That's just a different level of status. But no, like
when they got married, Tom Holland just became Tom.
Yes,
he took her last name.
Yes, it is just you become one. So in that same logic, did Jay-Z just become Jay?
Well, he became Sean, you see, because his name is Sean Carter.
Okay.
He's just Sean.
He's no
now.
longer Jay-Z. He's dropped the rap name, stage name. Gone.
No, you're just Sean now, fella.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
I had Zendaya at 99, so a little bit of a gap.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah. But I knew she was going to be on here kind of from, I'd say, like, Challengers alone. It kind of, I don't know, made me, like, kind of fall in love with her more than I could for just MJ in Spider-Man. But then, like, Dune, like Chani is, like, I don't know, I'm very, very eager to see what happens next movie. I feel like it's going to be pretty pivotal.
God, the end of Dune 2 when it's her, like, waiting for the sandworm just gets me fucking going, dude.
Yep. She's the only one who doesn't kneel at the end. Like, you know,
sick.
Like, everyone goes down at once. And then she walked. I don't know. The story, I have no idea what's to come in Messiah, but I'm so ready to experience whatever that is. And yeah, that cast is just insane every time I think about it. And yeah, she's a large, you know, does anyone else have a one name in that cast? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah. As far as I know, there's no Beyonce, there's no Seal, there's no Sting. Sting was in the original Dune with David Lynch. David Lynch's Dune. But not in the sequel here, or in the remake here. Yeah, no, I think she is the only one name, as far as, I think it's incredible that she's kind of not rebranded in that regard, but like her last name is Coleman. And like, I feel like she used to be like on Shake It Up. I think she was billed as Zendaya Coleman.
Oh, wow.
And then at some point she just became Zendaya, and that was it.
The Coleman.
Drop the Coleman. It's cleaner. Yeah.
Wow. Bro, I mean, it did land. I mean, yeah, it I guess took
She might
off.
not have been billed as that in Shake It Up either. I have no idea. I just I don't know why I feel like she was at some point, but regardless, yeah, Zendaya, she's awesome, and she's got just...
Yeah, no, you were right. She was credited as her full name.
All
Wow.
right, look at that. Look at me, for some reason, pulling that knowledge out of my ass from when I was 12. I remember being like, Zendaya, she's hot, when I was a young lad. Still feel that way. Still feel that way, yeah. Challengers, holy shit. The drama, you have got to see the drama. You love both of them. You love Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
You love Zendaya.
Yeah.
There's just no going wrong there.
God.
And when
How
I tell
can
you,
God, to be married or to have an actual relationship with an actor, that world is insane. It's just, I mean,
yeah.
God.
It's got to be. You got to have and I feel like actors being married to actors, it's a little easier. You get to understand each other a little bit more in that regard.
Yeah.
But I respect the shit. Like, Tom Holland is probably the only Spider-Man ever to be like out kicking his coverage. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Tom Holland to bag Zendaya. Good job, man. Like, you did it. He doesn't have to work another day in his life if I'm
Bro
Tom
is
Holland.
Spider-Man and has Zendaya. I mean,
Good for him. Good for him.
God damn.
And he's going to be in the Odyssey this summer. He's going to be in the Odyssey, which is releasing like weeks apart from Spider-Man 4. And he got married to Zendaya like a couple months ago. Like,
dude's living.
You're winning. You're winning.
Yeah.
It's bordering on unfair. You are not in my top 100 for
I
that
know.
exact
He's
reason, Tom
neither in
Holland.
mine, I guess. Yeah. But I do have your wife.
I do have your wife.
Incredible.
I also have your wife. Yeah, she's wonderful. I love Zendaya. Euphoria is coming to an end here pretty soon. Haven't watched season 3, mostly because I watched season 2 when it came out and haven't had any interest in watching it ever since. That cast is obscene, though. Obscene. And I look forward to whatever's... Because she won a couple Emmys for Euphoria. And I look forward to the roles that her acting prowess will eventually translate to on the big screen. Because, don't get me wrong, she's great in the drama. She's awesome as Chani. But I would love to see her take a swing at one of those award contender, almost Oscar baity sort of movies at some point. I would love to see her do something like that. But yeah, so Zendaya, great choice at 47. I'm throwing it back at 47. You went with the young blood there. I'm going with a gentleman who was born in the year 1920 at 47. Passed away before we were born. Maybe before Zendaya was born, I'm not sure. Toshiro Mifune, the main collaborator on screen that you think of with Akira Kurosawa, the lead in Seven Samurai and Rashomon and Yojimbo and High and Low and Hidden Fortress and Sanjuro and Throne of Blood and Redbeard and probably, if not for Scorsese and De Niro, the greatest acting and directing combo that's ever existed is Kurosawa and Mifune. And I've only watched a couple of Mifune movies that were not directed by Kurosawa, and those were Sword of Doom, which he is not the lead of. He's just a part of that movie. And I unfortunately don't have the lead of that movie, who is Tatsuya Nakadai, who just passed at November at the end of last year. Incredible actor. Just didn't have the room for him. And then the other movie that I've seen where Toshiro Mifune did lead was Samurai Musashi Miyamoto. Incredible movie, and he has done just unbelievable work. He's obviously awesome as like an action samurai guy. You've seen that in Yojimbo and Seven Samurai and all sorts of stuff. But when he got to do some drama work with Kurosawa was really my favorite shit. My favorite Kurosawa movie, and therein my favorite performance from Mifune, is in High and Low, which got remade last year by Spike Lee and Denzel, another one of those great acting, directing combos, highest to lowest. It got recontextualized into American modern context, but high and low, unbelievably good movie. And the other one, underrated Kurosawa picture, is I Live in Fear, which is about Mifune playing an aging, old patriarch of a family, and he has a mortal fear of nuclear annihilation. So again, made in the 50s, about a decade after the bombings of Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Just really, really heavy work that he has to do there, and he does an unbelievable job. So Toshiro Mifune, I haven't seen nearly enough, and I've already seen a bunch, and I'll never get tired of him. He's also extremely funny whenever he needs to be funny. Like, he's hilarious in Yojimbo and in Seven Samurai. And I look forward to taking a bigger chunk out of Kurosawa's filmography and Toshiro Mifune's. So I got him here at 47.
And Seven Samurai pisses me off. Not that, that the movie's bad. I haven't seen it yet, and that's what pisses me off, that I haven't watched it yet.
It's just sitting there.
I not only, it's a crisp disc, I can't have a better viewing experience given to me. The reason I haven't watched it before is I feel like I haven't graduated to the movie watching level of Seven Samurai or of Kurosawa to truly appreciate. But I think now, I think I'm ready. I think now I'm not holding back.
Buddy, you've been ready. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that Kurosawa is. I'm not Seven Samurai is about as easy a Kurosawa movie to get into as there is. And it is 3 hours. It is big. And don't get me wrong, it is an all-time great. But he's got much more layered and complex work otherwise in his filmography. That is, you've seen Seven Samurai and other stuff. It is one of the most influential movies that's ever been made. So when you watch it, it'll almost feel familiar, because of how much you've seen from it.
That will be cool.
But yeah, I love me some Toshiro Mifune, man. So got him at 47.
Well, I guess a king in one regard will balance it out with quite the queen. I think you did mention her already. This is where I have Carrie Fisher, our Leia. Leia. I don't want to call her just one role, but maybe a one word name that she can get away with, and
yeah.
who you're talking about. Leia. But yeah, just an absolute. Another. I guess having Chadwick and Carrie Fisher in the same episode.
To me,
I don't know.
She is royalty.
Didn't realize.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of royalty going on here, and but yeah, kind of I got pretty much the whole Star Wars crew eventually. But yeah, she is kind of Leia is all that I do kind of know her for. So it was how far did it carry her, and pretty in the top half. I knew she wasn't going to drop much lower than that.
No, yeah.
But yeah, there's just...
Can't go wrong there. And Carrie Fisher, her career launched at a point in time where, unfortunately, she was always just going to be Princess Leia. It was such a massive deal and was such a phenomenon that, unfortunately, at that point in the industry, she was always going to be typecast. It was always going to be like, well, when people watch this, they're just going to see Princess Leia, and so it became sort of a double-edged sword for her, where she was this icon, but it did kind of prevent her from doing a lot of other stuff. She did go on to do other stuff, one of my favorite Carrie Fisher roles outside of Leia is When Harry Met Sally. She is the best friend, which is the role she got typecast for the most after Star Wars. She was the best friend. Whoever the leading lady was, she was her best friend. That was kind of the idea of Carrie Fisher's career after that. And, dude, she was such an incredible performer. She was an incredible writer. she reading her biographies and, you know, the Princess Diarist and stuff that she did, where she kind of talks about the struggle she faced based on what we were literally just talking about, being typecast as Leia and only being recognized as Leia, and, you know, kind of removing her from the equation. Like, she became Princess Leia to people. She was no longer Carrie Fisher. Like, that's a tough burden to wear, but then to ultimately kind of try to grapple with it and embrace it eventually. And she was just the shit, man. I love Carrie Fisher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, knew she had to be on here. That was for sure. I guess, I don't know, two, just kind of, yeah, those are the powerful women back to back. So the only two that I do have of the episode. So I guess kind of nice that my two out balanced it out a little bit more.
I like it. Yeah, I've got my next one is the second of 5 women in this episode for me. So they'll plenty of heavy hitters here. 46 is where I have Isabella Rossellini, who most recently we have discussed in Blue Velvet. Awesome. Oh, actually, she was in Wild at Heart, so we discussed that more recently. But Lynch collaborator, Lynch lover, for lack of a better term, at one point as well. Isabella Rossellini is enamoring, dude. She is breathtaking. Just watching her do anything is incredible. Like last night, because I was trying to anchor some of these picks a little bit, get a little bit more under my belt, I finally watched a series of short films she did that are available on the Criterion channel that, I mean, I never watched them because I was like, we'll see. They're called Green Porno.
Okay.
And what she does is she acts as various bugs and insects and basically gives a National Geographic explanation of their mating practices.
Ooh, that's incredible. Whoever came up with that concept.
She did. She directed them. She directed them. She wrote them. Like, it's all her.
That's, oh my God. Wow.
Yeah, she's awesome. And these all happened in like 2008 through 2011 or something like that. And there's a bunch of them. And I could watch her do anything, dude. I'm like, this is humorous, but it's also wildly informative, and she takes it very, very seriously. So like ultimately it almost feels wrong to call it funny, even though like inherently it's a funny premise to dress up like various insects, and like it's low budget. But like, I mean, it's decent. There's a decent enough budget to where there's some pretty impressive costuming, but it's also goofy as shit. And she wears like these big fake bulbous eyes and, you know, stuff like that. Like it's, she's awesome though. And that's that. So I watched that last night just cause I was like, let's see. Another role recently that I loved her in was La Chimera. She plays the grandmother figure that has a soft spot for Josh O'Connor.
Oh my gosh.
It's her house that he's like visiting at the beginning of the movie and stuff. Like, she's
way.
Yeah, Conclave. She got Oscar nominated for that, and you know, she was solid. She was very, very good in that. But genuinely one of the most unbelievable looking portrayals of anything ever. Just like, holy shit, how is this a real person? This is, my God. Is her in Death Becomes Her. Just look up Isabella Rossellini, Death Becomes Her for me real quick, because boyo, holy shit.
Let's see.
Holy shit. That is
Royalty.
about as, that's about as sexy as it gets.
Yes.
That's about as hot as anybody's ever been. Isabella Rossellini she's absolutely beautiful. She's an incredible performer. She's so talented. And Blue Velvet will always be my go-to for her as my favorite performance of hers ever. But yeah, she just did a laundry list of incredible work, and I love her. So 46, Isabella Rossellini.
Had to take a drink of water there, full disclosure.
That's
in front of the fireplace too. It got
Gee whiz.
But crazy, the La Chimera connection here. that just happened. I know it's not exactly the number; it is one up, but 45. You already mentioned him, I believe. This is where I have Josh O'Connor. So that's kind of wild. That kind of landed there. I guess Zendaya earlier in the episode there have the Challengers connection, but I love the La Chimera connect. That feels more in vein.
Yeah, it does for the movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And man, yeah, just a movie that it just there's a short list of movies that just overtook every thought while watching and then after for a while. Cure, La Chimera, Interstellar. Interstellar's just kind of like a out of that one never ended. It's still going, but yeah, no, like there's not many movies that like just took over, and La Chimera was one of them. And then like every time I've seen Josh O'Connor pop back up, I'm like, if it kind of Challengers was the big exposure, I think, or like seeing him on the big screen, and he kind of just played the dick or kind of the jerk at first. So like I got the the wrong read on him, I think at first, and then like but then like Wake Up Dead Man was incredible. Like after seeing going through La Chimera, seeing him differently, and then Wake Up Dead Man, I don't know. I think he's just got hopefully a good career in front of him.
He does.
Yeah. So I don't think you'll have any trouble finding work. I don't think. But yeah, he's just I don't know, with the, I guess I don't have the last of the trio of the challenge.
Mike Faced.
Mike Faced. Yes.
Yeah, he didn't make either of our lists.
But the other two,
and it's really just because I've only seen him in two things. I've only seen him in Challengers, and I've seen him in West Side Story, and he is super good in both. But I just need a little more. I've just seen so much Josh O'Connor at this point that I'm like, I can't help but love him.
Got to. So yeah, I love the little connection there with Isabella Rossellini. That's great. I didn't remember she was in that movie until you even brought it up there too.
I know. Like, that's the thing, is that at the time when we discussed La Chimera, I don't know how much I'd fallen in love with Lynch if I had yet even. So it was like Isabella Rossellini was just kind of this like big name that I recognized. But it wasn't until I watched Lynch movies that I was like, oh my God, I love Isabella Rossellini. So I don't think we even drew a lot of attention to her at that point, when we discussed it. But, I think, 45, I've got another pretty iconic woman here. Damn. Yeah. I'm like, feels almost too low, but I can't put her, I can't put her any higher, I don't think. 45 is where I have Julianne Moore, who we just most recently discussed in Children of Men last month. She is awesome. I love Julianne Moore. My most recent watch for her was The Room Next Door. I mentioned that for my Tilda Swinton pick at 50. They star opposite each other as the leading roles. And they both just do an unbelievable job. Julianne Moore is always so good. The Big Lebowski, I go to that for her in my head. Dude, it's so good. It's so good. May December again. She plays the groomer. In May December, the one who marries Charles Melton when he was young.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's super good in that. I'm trying to think. Boogie Nights. She's another Paul Thomas Anderson collaborator, and that is such a good role for her in Boogie Nights. She plays a porn star with a heart of gold. Julianne Moore. Yeah, she's Crazy Stupid Love. That's a good Julianne Moore movie. I kind of forget about that one.
In the Kingsman movies, one of them, she was like one of the main antagonists. She was having a blast in that role.
Yeah,
I mean, she was. I could tell the movie wasn't overall the best, but no, she I don't know, that role was.
Well, she plays the rebellion leader in the Hunger Games movies. The Mockingjay movie. She's like the successor to President Snow, who's making questionable decisions on behalf of the rebellion. That's like, if we're going to get it done, we got to do it this way. And they're like, is that the right thing to do? So yeah, Julianne Moore is awesome. I've always loved her. And I love her more every movie I watch her in. So, had to have her, and I've got her here at 45.
All right. Well, moving on to 44. This is, I've already mentioned one of the Magnetos, but this is the other actor who played him. This is where I got Michael Fassbender, and I've always loved Magneto. I think I love Ian McKellen, icon of a man, love him to death. But I don't know, Fassbender just does Magneto with a little bit more of that, like it's just his younger years. I think he just had, it's Magneto in his prime, so it's kind of different.
There's
primes,
a little bit of there's a lot more internal tumult also, like he's going through more emotionally. Ian McKellen's kind of got it all figured out. He doesn't have much to go on.
Yeah, and there's a grace to the older Magneto. It's the like platform he puts beneath him, and he just like is floating.
A clarity
on,
of purpose.
Yes.
Yes.
But Fassbender, Magneto, I love him there. Obviously in all the Alien movies, as David is awesome there too. Love him in Prometheus and Covenant. And then the Killer was like, oh, okay, I do like this. I love
so
this man.
Fucking good.
Yeah, so that's he's I think just another person that like I can tell. I don't know. He just he loves to act. And it just
he's good at it.
And yeah, he does so good. And like so if he's in something, I'm gonna want to see it from now on.
Yeah, I don't have Fassbender. I'm not gonna lie. And not even really just because I thought you would have him. I think there's just there's nothing that keeps him off the list strictly. It's just there's so many people that I do love, and ultimately he doesn't quite enter that tier where I'm like, oh my god, you're one of my favorite actors ever. But goddamn, I've liked a lot of the work he's done, and specifically, First Class, Days of Future Past, even him in Apocalypse is really, really solid. I really enjoyed that. Trying to think, The Killer, of course, and maybe Inglourious Bastards. He's really good in Inglourious Bastards. That's another Tarantino one. But yeah, I like me some Fassbender, so I like that pick a lot. And I've got someone.
What the?
Oh, is he?
3 Stelios. What? Maybe like one of the senators or someone back at what? That in 300? That's weird. Or I don't know. That's just like, I'm not tracking that one. Oh. No, he's just one of the main like Spartan soldiers. Holy shit! What the? He looks so just different with long hair. Oh my god, that's just
that'll do it.
Wow,
that'll do it.
That's
I'm gonna look him up because I'm trying to think of what other stuff I've seen him in. Prometheus. Duh.
Yeah. Like that's the
the Alien movies.
Oh yeah, had to.
Yeah, Kneecap. He was really good in Kneecap. Black Bag was a good movie last year. That he was really, really good in. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I should have given him a little more thought, but no, yeah, he's really solid.
He's getting the flowers. It's
I love it. I love it. And again, we're just getting to that point of the list where everyone feels so dangerously low that I feel remiss to like 44. That seems 44. So low for you, but it's where you are. 44 is where I have Jeffrey Wright.
Okay, yeah.
I love Jeffrey Wright. And him entering the Wes Oeuvre is the biggest. Oh fuck yes, like he is my favorite addition into that sort of classification of the last 5 years, whenever he introduced himself in the French Dispatch and they popped up in Asteroid City, and now he's been in the Phoenician Scheme. I love everything he's doing there, and specifically the French Dispatch is probably my favorite Jeffrey Wright performance ever. whenever he's many times I find myself sharing the day's work with nobody at all, and then it cuts to him just alone. And it's like, oh god damn,
he's got a great voice. I mean, his voice is just incredible. Like in every role that he's in, and like he changes it in such little ways every time, but it still holds the. He will be like the Morgan Freeman replacement.
Oh, one
you know,
day,
it's sad.
yeah.
It's like
The
it's
Watcher.
sad. He's getting there, but yeah, no, he is our narrator. He is the best you can go to. I feel like for
he's
for
incredible.
narration.
I'm glad
right
he's
now.
got that Oscar nom under his belt now with American
Yeah.
Fiction. Incredible performance.
Mhm.
I loved
Fuck.
that role for him. Fuck. I want to call it fuck. Yeah. It's so good. He's so fucking funny. The Batman, of course, he's our new Gordon.
Oh yeah.
You can't go wrong there.
Open your eyes. Yeah. He's
Open
like,
your eyes.
uh,
Come on, what are you showing me? Yeah, I gotta watch that movie again, man. Westworld,
19th,
dude.
time. Oh yeah, come on.
Westworld,
Come
dude.
on.
Bernard, let's go.
Yeah.
That was my first Jeffrey Wright. You know, that was my like, oh, I like this guy.
Mhm.
Oh, I like this guy a
Yep.
lot. And then he just kept popping up and
Yep.
stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I fucking love this guy.
Mhm.
Jeffrey Wright is awesome. Basquiat, that's a young Jeffrey Wright, I should say. Where he's playing Jean-Michel Basquiat in a movie from 1996. That's a 30-year-old movie now. Starring with David Bowie and Gary Oldman and Dennis Hopper and Benicio del Toro and just Christopher Walken. Willem Dafoe is in it. It's a great movie, great cast, and he is incredible in it. So Jeffrey Wright, another Hunger Games guy. That's a nice little connection there, back to back. He was in Catching Fire, I believe. I love those movies, and I love Jeffrey Wright, so had to have him.
Yeah, and
Chapter
I do
1.
have him.
I love his Asteroid City monologue
Chapter
is
1.
also
Just
so strong.
The hand motion, it's
the
all
locking
it's
in.
it's a whole thing. Yes, it's a. All right, chapter 1. He's too good, but yeah, we'll get back to him. Not this week, but he will return eventually. He had to be here. He's too iconic to not. But we'll stick in the Wes vein here. You did have him, I think, last episode actually, or maybe one before. But this is where I have the Wes regular Jason
Last episode.
Schwartzman. The man. So yeah, he Wes. For me, like a lot of like I knew I had to get all of the regulars in here, and he was one that like was very early on. Like I remember like when I just had the brain dump, he was boom out of like or one like within the top 20, I think for sure, of just like getting people down. So I think my brain just went pretty early to Wes, but then. You know, like top 20 kind of just and like he was one that just kind of was like, oh man, no, I do like this person more. I do like this person more. But I kept trying to raise him as high as I could. I remember, like I kept trying to get him as high as I could. But this is, I don't know. Yeah. 43. It just seems so low. Like, yeah, it's just,
I wanted him higher. I'm in the same boat.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I mean, top 50, it feels good. Like, you know, this is the top half of the top 100, and the top 100 is already people that I love anyway. So it's like, and this is, yeah, just pure favorites. So I have to just kind of throw all of this random pressure that I'm like putting on this list for some, you know, like it, I do feel like it, like there's like a responsibility.
Well, as you
to
know,
not
if we don't get this exactly right, the universe ends.
this is
as
true.
we know
I guess,
it, you
yeah,
know?
it is. You know, we are doing quite the deed, you know, for everyone here. I mean, like, and
everybody
keeping it
would be
together.
fucked without us. Yeah.
Loki, we are the Loki holding the strands
Yeah,
together.
we are the loom.
You know,
we are the loom.
We're weaving through this list. And yeah, it's gonna be wild whenever I don't know, they're like the top 10. We get the Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars, and actually they scrap it and just go with all of these actors instead. They force the recast of all of just the top however many actors we got.
You understand how important the work we're doing is. Yeah.
So yeah,
that's
so it
exactly
is
right.
It is crucial. But no, Jason Schwartzman, always tough to say. I feel the Schwartzman, but right after a Jason, it feel like I don't have a lisp.
Yeah, the four syllables.
Yeah,
where you're doing a different
Schwartzman.
inflection.
Yeah, there's so many changes in there, but
it's like a vocal exercise.
It is,
Jason Schwartzman. Schwartzman. Yeah, I see it.
But yeah, I do.
Red
love
leather,
the man.
yellow leather. Yeah. No,
Yellow
I'm with you.
leather.
But I like
Yellow
that. I like that.
leather. Wow. Now, yeah, I don't know. I like these vocal warm-ups.
Vocal exercises.
Yeah.
I've got at 43. I've got just one of the. You're speaking to the name itself. One of the great movie star names ever, in my opinion. Like, you were made for your name to be on a marquee here.
Okay.
43 is where I have Val Kilmer.
Oh,
that's a movie star.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's a fucking movie star. You hear that name and you go, he's got to be in the movies. You know, that's Val Kilmer, baby. I love Val Kilmer. And Willow is always going to be one of my favorites. His role as Mad Mardigan. He is having just a time of his life. He's having so much fun. I love him in that. Tombstone, I'll be your Huckleberry, is absolutely incredible. Heat, fucking awesome. One of my favorite Val Kilmer roles, though, is his role in, I believe, his second movie ever, which is Top Secret. It's kind of it's one of those goofy, spoofy parody films that came in the wake of like Airplane and Naked Gun and all that stuff. Dude, he is so fucking funny in it. And that movie generally is so fucking funny. I don't know if you've ever seen the clip of the entirely underwater bar fight. Have you ever seen? What? Have you ever seen that someone gets tackled underwater, like into a river? They sink to the bottom, and at the bottom is a bunch of dudes like drinking alcohol at a bar setup, and there's like a whole underwater fight sequence where they're experiencing the drag of the water, and like it is ridiculous. It is a stupid fucking movie, but it is so fun, and Val Kilmer is a big reason why. You know, I think he was so talented and he was so charming. And I need to watch. There's still a bunch of Val Kilmer I've never seen that I need to watch. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a big one that I've always really, really wanted to get around to that I just haven't. True Romance is a movie I've never watched. The Doors, that one he actually stars with Kyle MacLachlan, Meg Ryan. They play The Doors, the band The Doors. He was in Deja Vu. Great fucking movie. He's been Batman, you know, like that's Batman Forever right there. So I loved me some Val Kilmer, and I had him here at 43.
Yeah. All right. Hell yeah. I guess I had him down at 79. I think that's the Willow love. I don't know. I think you've had a lot more exposure to him.
Oh yeah, it helps. It helps.
But yeah, he's, I don't know, still feels criminally low. Yeah, for everyone here. But yeah, kind of This is also a name that does feel fit for the screen. I feel like it's maybe more of like a director's chair. I don't know. Actually, is kind of what it seems. But this is where I have Benicio del Toro.
I think del Toro. You're going with Guillermo there. Yeah, you got a Guillermo del Toro connection there.
I think in Guillermo del Toro that fits a director. You know that actually fits the bill. I think so. I think
Benicio, that's an actor.
Drop the del Toro. You know, maybe this is where we're arriving at. Yeah,
he's the next Zendaya. Yeah,
Benicio. We just. I don't know. I think he's earned it. But yeah, I mean, he's. I think was he one that you left out, or was he on your list?
I have not brought him up yet.
Oh, okay. I thought we did. Oh, we've talked about him. I feel like
he's come up. He has come up.
Okay.
But
okay.
Yeah.
So never mind. But no, and every single one of his roles, he's just. He gets into the I'm thinking like the not the real collector or no that's the collector in Marvel, no, the Star Wars role, not the real code breaker,
the code breaker,
the one they got, just the little tick he did. Do you think that was written in the script, or do you think he just
it wasn't it actually wasn't. That's actually
that's
Ryan Johnson's been like, Benicio del Toro just started doing that and we liked it a lot, so
it's just things like that. Like he just seems that he he gets into it a little bit more than the typical average actor, and I think
he has fun with it too.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah.
So
I think of whenever he came, like whenever they were talking about, there was one battle after another press, and they were like, he left like the filming schedule for one battle after another, built in a break for him so he could go film Phoenician Scheme. And when he came back from Phoenician Scheme, he basically reshaped one battle after another into the movie that it is. Like, his entire storyline was different when he came back from Phoenician Scheme. He felt energized. He had a lot of ideas, and he was like, this is what we're going to do. Basically, the entire, like, you know, whenever he's like, I got kind of a underground, like a Latino Underground Railroad situation going back at my place. You know, like that whole thing came after he came back from Phoenician Scheme. And that's like one of my favorite parts of the movie and one of the best parts of the movie, and feels like the point of the movie a little bit. So it's kind of like, what the fuck was this movie if the Phoenician Scheme doesn't happen, you know? But I love me some Benicio, man. So yeah, I have not brought him up yet. I will bring him up, but it won't be this week. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it might have been, I don't know, Basquiat. I mean, I feel like that movie's
I did just mention him. Yeah. I did just mention
it's like
that.
A movie, another one of just a movie that's connected so many people that I feel.
Yeah,
like
I mean David Bowie, Jeffrey Wright, Gary Oldman, all those guys have came up a couple times. So yeah, it's nice to see. Yeah. But 42, I've got someone who just always been a personal favorite of mine. Has a best supporting actress Oscar under her belt as of a few years ago. But just as long as I can remember, I've always loved Regina King. And most recently we saw her in Poetic Justice, which we discussed on Valentine's Day, where she played the drunk best friend. She's really good in that. She was hilarious in Friday and all those comedies in the 90s. But she won the Oscar for If Beale Street Could Talk, playing the mother. And If Beale Street Could Talk, and my God, is she good at it. Like, that is a beautiful performance, and just kind of sealed the deal for her as being one of my favorites ever, because, I mean, I've always loved The Boondocks, and she is Huey and Riley Freeman. She is the two main little boys in that show, which is hilarious. She voiced them.
Wow. Wait,
the two...
Dang.
Dear Santa, you a bitch. Yeah,
wow, that's Regina King.
That's Regina King. Yeah, she
God.
voiced Huey and Riley Freeman for the entirety of the Boondocks. So I love it. So that's always been like my, oh yeah, I love her for that. But then Watchmen came around, and she's awesome in that. So yeah, I mean, Regina King's the shit, dude. I love everything she does. I'm always going to be interested in it. And she was also a part of that movie Caught Stealing that I brought up recently. With Austin Butler. That was always a good one. She was a small part of Boys in the Hood. She was a badass in The Harder They Fall. She's done a lot of really, really good shit. So I love some Regina King. She's been in a Laura Dern movie called Damaged Care. Never watched that, but I've heard good things. So lots of good stuff on her belt. Love me some Regina King. Have her here at 42.
All right. Well, to second to last here. I believe I'm misremembering some people that we brought up. It's hard to now know if someone was just in conversation brought up, or actually for the list, or for the people who just were shot or didn't quite make it. But I think this one was on there, but a while back. Christian Bale is my 41. And yeah, I mean, you know, the Batman I did grow up with. He, other than oh no,
Kevin Conroy.
No, that sucks. I didn't think of Kevin Conroy. I feel like I don't know if this late in the game, if he'd be on here, but before 100.
He might have been in the 90s, yeah.
I feel like he would have actually been there. That's really sad. But I guess not to to bring down Christian Bale, I guess.
Well, hey, I all of a sudden have 101 people on my list, so if you want to go ahead and add an honorary spot for Kevin Conroy, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, 41 and 41. Kevin Conroy. So Kevin Conroy and Christian Bale.
The Batman spot.
The Batman, yeah. There will be a Batman later on, eventually, that I do like.
Well, of course.
But you know, that's but no, like growing up it was those two. It was Kevin Conroy and Christian Bale. I heard Kevin Conroy and then I just saw Christian Bale.
I am the
Batman.
Knight. Yeah. God, he's so good.
So I've always loved him as the Bat. And
then, where is he?
In The Prestige, I do love. I've had a long love for that movie, and I think he did play a good role there. I do really want to see. Is it The Machinist or I think it's
Machinist. Yeah.
And just seeing how much weight Adam Driver lost for Silence and seeing what he looked like there, to see what Christian Bale looked like when he lost the most weight he did for a role, it would just, I don't know, it's just like a weird thing to cross, like a weird pairing to go for. But yeah, I've seen the images of him and how just skeleton-esque he looked in there, which is crazy to actually dedicate like that much of a change to your body to a movie, which is just wild. And then Batman Begins is the next year, which like you're going to, I don't know how low he weighed, but like for wherever there, and to be,
I've seen the behind the scenes photos. He looks fucking tiny. So
yeah. So I mean that's that is like actually risk, like that's not like completely safe, I feel like, which is crazy.
It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, and then but that's just for a movie. That's like that. It's
dedication.
Dedication. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. So I do love Christian Bale.
Going all out.
But he's not, Ford versus Ferrari. I guess he's good there. Thor: Love and Thunder. I thought he was, he did well.
Underutilized, should have been a bigger part of it. Yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
Gore was dope, and I don't think he got used to his full potential. And I think Christian Bale, I mean, he did everything he could with him. But
bring him back.
Hilarious
multiverse.
Press tour. Yeah. Hilarious press tour. By the way, when Christian Bale was like, yeah, it was fun. It was kind of just like always kind of being like, yeah, I mean, whatever, man. Fucking killed me. Yeah.
He's
super funny.
Above the Marvel game, and I think
well, definitely above that Marvel movie. Although I like it, it's fun, it's good, it's cute. But if you're gonna use Gore the God Butcher as a villain, your movie probably shouldn't be cute as like the titular thing that I go to. There's a tonal shift there that I think is important. Yeah, all right. I've got someone at 41 who actually has an interesting tie to Christian Bale, which is that Christian Bale used this actor as inspiration for his performance in American Psycho. Tom Cruise, baby. Tom Cruise. Yeah. He was like, I remember him saying like, how you look in Tom Cruise's eyes and there's like nothing there? That's what I wanted to do. And I'm paraphrasing. I'm paraphrasing hard, but it was ostensibly that. And yeah, Tom Cruise. Ethan Hunt ultimately made me a Tom Cruise guy. I really, really fuck with Tom Cruise more so than I'd like to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. And Ethan Hunt specifically carries just massive, massive weight for me. But ultimately that made me more open to going and watching other Tom Cruise movies and finding him in Eyes Wide Shut. He's great in that. Tropic Thunder is one I've watched for a long time, and he's fucking hysterical in it as Les Grossman. So fucking funny. Another one that I watched recently that he was actually super good in was a movie called The Firm. It's a Sidney Pollack movie where he is a lawyer who is brought into a dirty firm that represents like the mafia and stuff, and he kind of gets roped in and then wants out but can't get out and all that good stuff. I mean, he's just got years and years and years and years and years of shit under his belt. He's been one of the most famous actors alive for longer than my dad's been alive, about as long as my dad's been alive. Like, that's crazy.
What the fuck? Yeah, he's an
like
anomaly.
he became famous when my dad was 6. So
he's the LeBron James of the acting.
Yeah,
world.
of acting. Yeah, for sure.
It's
yeah.
incredible.
I mean, Risky Business was a big one. I like that one a lot. His Ridley Scott collaboration, Legend, high fantasy movie, really, really solid. I like a lot of Tom Cruise stuff. I do, and Ethan Hunt reigns supreme in the Mission Impossible franchise there. But yeah, so I have him here at 41.
Okay, all right. Well, to top off this week, I think he's definitely come up in conversation, but I do think he was one of yours. Another addition to the Dune cast, but the reason he flew so high was at the Oscar moment when he was on the screen, just solidify. I'm like, yes, I already loved you. I love you more. I love you, Javier Bardem. You are just a guy that I didn't recognize. That, like, I've seen No Country for Old Men, but man, does he look so different in that role? Like, he actually he turns the soul off of him, which is crazy. That man has no soul in that movie, but he has.
Yeah, Anton Chigurh, man. Yeah, he did a great job there.
But like Javier Bardem has the sweetest soul in real life. So it's like, what?
He seems like such a good guy.
I'm like, how do you go from one to the other? But no, he's talented. Like Stilgar, like all the meme, Lisan Al Gaib, like, he's just like, I loved, like, he's just probably one of my favorites in the entire Dune franchise. I love Stilgar, and Javier Bardem, just him being the human he is, just makes it even sweeter. I don't know, it just so like, I just, he had to be high up. I knew, no matter what, just for that prowess, and yeah, like, I don't know, F1. I remember I caught my cousin was watching it. I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw him, and I'm like, oh man, I know he's not just Stilgar. I don't know, like, I got to get it out of my head, that, like, I only really know him as that. And like, but then, like, it always dawns on me, like, oh yeah, no, I've seen No Country for Old Men. I've, like, for quite a while, and then, yeah, I'm trying to I think that was the Daniel Craig came up. Skyfall is I haven't seen.
Yeah.
That.
He's a Bond villain.
He's in there. Yeah, so, man, that's like, yeah, I think that's when I stopped watching Daniel Craig's, was when Skyfall came out. But yeah, I've seen all the ones before it. But
yeah, he's got a really crazy career under his belt. He's done a lot of interesting stuff, and I love Javier Bardem. Yeah, I remember Collateral. We covered that. That was another Tom Cruise one that I didn't bring up just a second ago.
There we go.
Where Tom Cruise plays the villain. He plays a really small role in that, but he's really good in it.
Little Mermaid.
I love me some Bardem, man.
King Triton in Little Mermaid.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that one. But yeah, he's an incredible, like, an actor. I love his acting ability, and
Dude,
and
so
then
good.
the
Oscars
was like, okay, you rose a few levels.
Free Palestine. Yeah, fucking real, dude. I love Javier Bardem. Yeah, that's a great pick. Can't wait to see what he brings in Dune Part 3. But yeah, fuck yeah, good way to top off the episode. And my 40 was like, no matter where Tom Cruise is, she's one above. She's going to be one above wherever Tom Cruise is. 40's where I have Nicole Kidman. I love Nicole Kidman, and just couldn't in good conscience go, I'm going to put her below Tom Cruise. Can't do it, won't do it. I've seen a lot of Nicole Kidman stuff. I've loved Nicole Kidman for a very long time, and she is just always so damn good. Again, we covered Eyes Wide Shut just a couple months ago. But one of the most underrated movies that I've ever seen is Birth which is directed by Jonathan Glazer, the director of The Zone of Interest. He's only directed 4 feature films, and that is one of them.
Wow.
And it came out 22 years ago, so he takes a long time to do what he wants to do. Birth is a wild movie. Wild. Will make you feel icky. But it's very, very good, and Nicole Kidman is exceedingly good in it. Another movie that I just watched with her in it that will make you feel icky is To Die For. I mentioned that when you brought up Joaquin Phoenix. To Die For is a Gus Van Sant movie. It is extremely good. She was in Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise. That's another really, really solid movie. She was in The Others. That's a kind of gothic horror movie that is super good. She was in The Northman. She was in Lion with Dev Patel. She was the adoptive mother, if you'll recall. She was in a movie a couple years ago called Baby Girl, which is extremely horny. Very horny film. Poor right. Keith Urban, man. Keith Urban and her got a divorce, and he like came out and was like, her sex drive, I just couldn't keep up with it. Like, oh, poor you. Grow the fuck up. I'm sure there's other stuff, and I don't want to judge anybody for anything, but Nicole Kidman wants to fuck me so much. Oh no. Jeez. Poor fucking guy.
Wow. Just fucking wake up. I don't know. Or
wake up, buddy. Wake up, buddy. You're Australian. You Australian country singing cunt. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what the story is. I don't know the real life shit. I just remember that I saw that as part of the reason, and I was like, that's insane. But everybody's got their stuff. But Nicole Kidman, she's awesome. I've always loved her. I remember whenever I was younger and I watched Just Go With It, Jennifer Aniston, Adam Sandler, one of those goofy little comedies, and she plays a hilariously intense Karen, basically. She's so funny, and she does a great job. But Nicole Kidman. Batman Forever, connect her back to Val Kilmer there, too. Yeah. She's the love interest in Batman Forever. Yeah. So, and she is gobsmacking in Batman Forever. Gorgeous woman. So that is my 40. So how about you run it back for me? Right. Your 40 through 49.
Yes. All right. At 40, I had Javier Bardem. 41, Christian Bale. 42, Benicio del Toro. 43, Jason Schwartzman. 44, Michael Fassbender. 45, Josh O'Connor. 46, Carrie Fisher. 47, Zendaya. 48, Edward Norton. That sounded weird to just call him Edward every time. But 49, Chadwick Boseman. That's it. I was about to read 50,
that's it. That's the
RDJ, but no, that's it. Chadwick Boseman.
We done did it. But for me, at 40, Nicole Kidman. 41, Tom Cruise. 42, Regina King. 43, Val Kilmer. 44, Jeffrey Wright. 45, Julianne Moore. 46, Isabella Rossellini. 47, Toshiro Mifune. 48, Daniel Day-Lewis. And 49, Viola Davis. And we will be back next week with parts 7 and 8. That's the 30s and the 20s. And we keep climbing up the list, man. It is a lot of fun. Eesh. I've got some even heavier hitters coming up. I've got some personal favorites that definitely one of them you'll be like, no shit. That high, huh? Yep, that high. Fuck you. That's how I feel. But I can't wait to wrap this thing up because we've got some bangers at the top of the list, and I can't wait to talk about them. Yeah. I think we reached a new biggest gap today, I believe, with the Zendaya, as far as what has been recited by both of us. Okay. I had Zendaya at 98, and you had her here in this episode, which is about as big a gap as we can have so far. Yeah. Because I had your 99, which was Bowie, but that was earlier at 88. Yes. And who was your 100?
Sheryl Lee.
Yep, and I don't have Sheryl Lee, so there you go. I think that is the biggest gap so far, 98 to 40 something. But damn, we will have a bigger one. I'm just saying. Christian Bale was close. I had him at 96. What was
he was
or 95. I had him at 95. Okay, so that is bigger.
Okay,
that is a bigger gap.
In the same episode. Okay, wow.
Zendaya and Christian Bale and Zendaya were close, but. Christian Bale right now is the biggest gap, and we will have bigger. I've already, you've mentioned a couple people earlier that I have later that I look forward to. But yeah, so I think with that, we will conclude this episode of The Sentimentalists. We will be back next week with parts 7 and 8. I look forward to that immensely, and can't wait to see you there. So check them on out. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And to quote and paraphrase Javier Bardem, no to war, free Palestine, and fuck ICE.